Pagani Utopia Roadster. In the world of hypercars, there exists a sacred space where art, engineering, and human emotion collide in perfect harmony. This is where Pagani lives, breathes, and creates. And in 2024, the Italian master of mechanical beauty unveiled something that transcends the limits of imagination, the Pagani Utopia Roadster. It's not just a car. It's a hand-sculpted symphony of design, passion, and technology that captures what driving truly means: freedom, emotion, and perfection. Every line, every curve, every bolt on this car tells a story of love for craftsmanship and the relentless pursuit of purity. The Utopia Roadster isn't merely a topless version of its coupe sibling, it's a poetic evolution. Horacio Pagani himself said that this creation is for those who seek simplicity in an age of complexity. In a world dominated by touchscreens, AI, and digital distractions, the Pagani Utopia Roadster takes us back to the essence of driving. It's a car that whispers to your soul rather than shouting at your senses. Remove the roof, and what you experience is not just air rushing past your face, but the pure spirit of motoring unleashed into the open sky. When you first lay your eyes on the Pagani Utopia Roadster, it's an overwhelming feeling of awe. The body is an orchestra of carbon fiber and titanium, crafted with such precision that it seems alive. The sculpted fenders, the voluptuous hips, the teardrop cockpit, it's a fusion of old-world elegance and futuristic innovation. The headlights are small jewels in the design, while the signature quad exhaust tips sit like organ pipes, each one capable of singing a song of thunder and melody when the V12 roars to life. The Utopia Roadster carries the same heart as its coupe, the AMG-sourced 6.0-liter twin-turbocharged V12. But calling it AMG-sourced almost feels unfair, because this engine is hand-built specifically for Pagani by Mercedes-AMG, following Horacio's exacting standards. It produces an astonishing 864 horsepower and 1,100 Nm of torque. There's no hybrid system, no electric assistance, just pure mechanical fury and analog sensation. The Utopia Roadster remains defiantly loyal to the idea that the connection between human and machine should be intimate, not interrupted by software. And then there's the transmission, the gearbox that defines the spirit of this car. Pagani could have easily gone for a dual-clutch system, but no. They chose a 7-speed automated manual transmission developed by Xtrac, a gearbox that allows for both precision and raw engagement. The metallic click of each gear change feels alive, deliberate, and visceral. With the roof off, the sound of that V12 combined with the gearbox's sharp engagement makes for one of the most emotional driving experiences ever engineered. Horacio Pagani often says that his creations are meant to touch all the senses. That philosophy is what makes the Utopia Roadster feel like a living being rather than a machine. Open the butterfly doors, and you enter an interior that could only be described as a mechanical cathedral. There are no massive digital screens. Instead, you find a perfect balance of analog gauges, polished aluminum, exposed carbon, and hand-stitched leather. Every switch, every dial feels like a piece of jewelry. The steering wheel is milled from a single block of aluminum and wrapped in fine leather, connecting the driver to the road through tactile perfection. Sit inside, and you're surrounded by craftsmanship so detailed it could make a Swiss watch blush. The leather smells rich, the pedals gleam, and the gear lever stands proudly like a sculpted monument to purity. Pagani insists that luxury should always serve emotion, and here, that belief manifests in every corner. The gauges are not just instruments, they're pieces of art, engraved and polished to perfection. The Roadster's cabin feels like stepping into a dream forged from metal and passion. But make no mistake, beneath all this artistry lies brutal performance. The Pagani Utopia Roadster weighs just around 1,280 kilograms, astonishingly light for a V12 hypercar. Thanks to its carbo-titanium monocoque, the structural rigidity is phenomenal even without a fixed roof. The result: lightning-fast reflexes and razor-sharp control. With rear-wheel drive, the car feels alive beneath you, communicating every texture of the road, every ounce of grip, every heartbeat of the tires as they claw the tarmac. Press the start button and the V12 awakens with a deep, guttural growl. It's a sound that vibrates through your spine. Every blip of the throttle feels like a conversation between man and machine, and every drive becomes a story. The Utopia Roadster doesn't just accelerate, it surges forward with elegance and violence combined, sprinting from 0 to 100 km/h in less than 2.8 seconds, and continuing until the world around you blurs into streaks of color and wind. Driving the Utopia Roadster is a sensory event. It's not about speed alone, it's about feeling. The way the chassis dances under power, the way the wind rushes in through the cabin, the way the exhaust note echoes off the hills, it's as if the car wants to remind you that joy isn't measured in lap times, but in heartbeats. The steering feels organic, light yet precise. The suspension, crafted from forged aluminum components, is tuned not just for performance but for emotional response. Every movement, every curve, every shift is a reminder that Pagani builds cars for drivers who still care about the journey, not just the destination. The Roadster's roof is a masterpiece in itself. It's made of 2 panels, crafted from ultralight carbon and glass, that can be manually removed and stored in the front compartment. The design ensures that even with the roof off, the car's aerodynamics remain impeccable. Pagani's engineers spent thousands of hours fine-tuning airflow, ensuring stability and downforce without compromising beauty. This level of dedication is what separates Pagani from the rest, its obsession elevated to art. Even the small details have purpose. The mirrors resemble wings, the taillights seem to float, and the exhaust pipes glow in shades of blue and gold from the heat of their titanium craftsmanship. The wheels are featherlight forged aluminum, designed not only to look like sculpture but to cut weight with mathematical precision. And the brakes, massive carbon ceramic discs, offer relentless stopping power, controlled with the same finesse as a violin bow across strings. Pagani calls it Utopia because it represents the perfect dream of what a car should be. It's not about efficiency or practicality, it's about emotion, soul, and connection. It's a rebellion against the digital age, a statement that even in a future ruled by electricity and automation, there is still room for passion and noise. The Utopia Roadster exists for those who crave a pure experience, an experience you can feel in your hands, your ears, and your heart. On a winding mountain road, the Utopia Roadster feels alive, breathing with every turn. The steering communicates with crystal clarity, the suspension flows like poetry, and the engine sings a symphony of controlled chaos. Each gear shift is a celebration of mechanics, each rev a declaration of life. With the top down, you can feel the world rushing by, the scent of petrol mixing with the air, and the sound of the V12 echoing off cliffs. It's more than driving, it's transcendence. What makes the Pagani Utopia Roadster so mesmerizing isn't just its speed or beauty. It's the philosophy behind it. Horacio Pagani grew up in Argentina, obsessed with Leonardo da Vinci's idea that art and science can walk together. That belief defines every Pagani car ever made. With the Utopia Roadster, he's taken that vision to its purest form. It's not just a machine, it's a sculpture that moves. A piece of art you can drive. Every nut and bolt has been thought about. Every surface has been caressed into perfection. Pagani doesn't build thousands of cars. He builds a handful, each one taking months of meticulous handcrafting. The Utopia Roadster will likely be limited to only a few dozen units, each customized to its owner's desire. That exclusivity makes it not just a car but an heirloom, a treasure meant to be cherished for generations. Every owner becomes a part of Pagani's story, a guardian of art on wheels. The interior of the Utopia Roadster offers the same drama as the exterior. The dials glimmer like a luxury watch, the levers and knobs feel satisfying to touch, and the detailing is beyond what most automakers even attempt. There's a certain magic in how everything moves, the way the gauge needles sweep, the way the shifter engages, the way the clutch feels under your foot. It's analog in a digital world, mechanical in an electronic age. That's what makes it timeless. Out on the open road, the Utopia Roadster doesn't just turn heads, it stops hearts. People stare, not because of its price or rarity, but because it radiates emotion. There's something almost spiritual about seeing a Pagani in motion, as if it's a vision of perfection passing by. The sunlight dances across the carbon weave, the engine's note rises like a crescendo, and for that moment, you understand why Horacio Pagani's creations are revered as art. Pagani's attention to detail extends even to the bolts that hold the car together. Each one is made of titanium and engraved with the Pagani logo. The carbon weave aligns perfectly across panels, something only possible through obsessive craftsmanship. The seats, shaped for comfort and control, are wrapped in the finest leather and stitched by artisans who understand that true beauty lies in the smallest imperfection of a human hand. When you look at the Utopia Roadster from the rear, you see the soul of Pagani's design language, symmetry, elegance, and passion. The taillights, inspired by jet turbines, the diffuser sculpted for aerodynamic balance, and the quad exhausts glowing with heat-tinted hues, it's like looking at the beating heart of mechanical poetry. Even at a standstill, the Utopia Roadster seems alive, as if it's breathing in anticipation of its next journey. And when it moves, it does so with grace and violence intertwined. Every rev, every shift, every motion is an experience. It's not about lap records or drag races, it's about emotion, about feeling one with the car, about losing yourself in the symphony of sound and motion. In a time where cars are becoming silent and self-driven, Pagani dares to remind us that driving is an art form. The Utopia Roadster is a celebration of human skill, a rejection of the soulless efficiency of automation. It reminds us that perfection isn't found in algorithms but in imperfection, in passion, in the feeling of your hands gripping a wheel and your heart racing to the rhythm of an engine's song. And that's why the Pagani Utopia Roadster is not just a car, it's a philosophy, a masterpiece, a love letter to everything that makes us human. It stands as proof that there are still creators in the world who care about emotion more than numbers, who build not for profit but for legacy. The Utopia Roadster isn't just built to be fast, it's built to be felt. The craftsmanship that goes into each Pagani is staggering. Over 4,000 individual components are designed, built, and assembled by hand. The paint process alone takes weeks, with layer upon layer applied and polished until it gleams like liquid light. Even the carbon fiber weave patterns are aligned to flow seamlessly across body panels, a level of precision unseen in the industry. Pagani doesn't mass-produce cars, they create experiences. Each Utopia Roadster is a reflection of its owner's taste and Pagani's philosophy. Whether it's the color of the leather, the texture of the metal, or the engraving on the pedals, everything can be tailored. That's what makes owning a Pagani more than possession, it's participation in a work of art. Driving the Pagani Utopia Roadster is not something one does casually. It's an event. From the moment you open those butterfly doors to the instant you press the ignition, you become part of something larger than yourself. The world around fades, replaced by the deep growl of the V12 and the hum of precision engineering. On an empty road, with the wind rushing past and the sky wide open, you realize what Pagani means by utopia, a place where dreams and reality become one. Even as technology moves toward electrification, Horacio Pagani stands firm in his belief that emotion should never be sacrificed. The Utopia Roadster is likely one of the last of its kind, a pure, analog, rear-wheel drive V12 supercar with a manual soul. It's the end of an era, yet also the immortalization of one. For those lucky enough to own it, the Utopia Roadster isn't just transportation, it's immortality on wheels. The Pagani Utopia Roadster exists to remind us why we fell in love with cars in the first place. It's not about how fast you can get from point A to point B, it's about what you feel along the way. It's about the heartbeat behind every rev, the emotion in every curve, and the soul that lingers long after the engine falls silent. When the sun sets and the car rests under soft light, you can still feel its presence, powerful, graceful, eternal. Because the Pagani Utopia Roadster isn't meant to age. It's meant to inspire. To remind generations to come that there was a time when cars weren't just machines, but expressions of humanity's greatest dreams. And in that sense, Pagani has truly created utopia.